DARPA can steal your Bitcoin directly from your mind without touching your wallet. Most Bitcoiners worry about hackers, phishing attacks, or physical theft of their private keys, but according to neurosurgeon and Bitcoin advocate Dr. Jack Kruse, the real threat lies in classified government technology capable of extracting your seed phrase directly from your brain through electromagnetic manipulation. This isn't science fiction. It's the culmination of decades of classified research programs that have evolved from crude mind control experiments to sophisticated systems that can influence thoughts and extract information without physical contact. The stakes couldn't be higher. If what Dr. Kruse describes as accurate, traditional Bitcoin security practices are fundamentally incomplete. Self-custody might protect your keys from hackers and institutions, but it can't shield your mind from invisible electromagnetic influence. As one Ethereum holder reportedly surrendered $1.4 billion without explanation, the question becomes alarming. Was this a voluntary action or something more sinister? And what's truly disturbing isn't just the technology itself. It's how everyday devices from LED lights to wireless earbuds might serve as conduits for these influence operations, potentially turning your own home into an extraction point for your most valuable digital assets. Imagine waking up to find your Bitcoin missing. Stolen not through hacking, but through invisible waves targeting your brain. While Bitcoiners focus on protecting their keys from hackers and physical theft, Dr. Kruse warns of a far more insidious threat lurking behind everyday technology. The government has been perfecting technologies that can extract information directly from your mind using electromagnetic frequencies, and your seed phrase is their ultimate target. This technology, he connects this to documented government programs studying electromagnetic effects on the brain, and claims these technologies have advanced far beyond what the public realizes. The implications extend beyond Bitcoin to question the very nature of personal autonomy in a world saturated with wireless signals and electromagnetic fields.
I'm telling you, it's a huge risk, and you don't realize the risk because you don't realize that DARPA now has the ability to get your seed phrases. And many people, I guarantee you, Marty, when you release this, they're going to hear this and go, this Jack Kruse is crazy. He's this and that. Go search the guy in Ethereum that just gave up $1.4 billion and posted.
He signed a message, yeah.
You got it. He posted that he did it. I'm going to tell you even something crazier. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. I'm going to make another prediction for the Marty Ben podcast. Within 2 or 3 years, you will find out that someone in the Ethereum Foundation is supporting, with huge amounts of money, someone in the messenger RNA platform, supporting their research. Mark my words. They're not your friends either.
According to Dr. Kruse, this is why self-custody alone isn't enough. You must also protect your brain from electromagnetic influence, as the greatest vulnerability to your Bitcoin might be inside your own head. The traditional Bitcoin security model assumes attackers need physical access or digital vulnerabilities, but completely ignores the possibility that the human mind itself could be the attack vector. If Dr. Kruse is correct, Bitcoiners may need to fundamentally rethink their security practices, focusing not just on cold storage and air-gapped computers, but on protecting their neurological systems from external manipulation. The most dangerous attack on Bitcoin sovereignty isn't coming from its enemies. It's coming from supposed allies. As Bitcoin gains mainstream acceptance, a subtle shift has occurred. Prominent voices within the Bitcoin community have begun emphasizing store of value over self-custody, encouraging investors to trust institutions and ETFs with their Bitcoin. Dr. Kruse identifies this as a deliberate strategy to separate users from their private keys. This narrative transformation didn't happen overnight. It evolved gradually as institutional players entered the Bitcoin space, bringing with them traditional financial paradigms that prioritize convenience and professional management over individual sovereignty. What began as practical advice for newcomers has morphed into a dominant ideology that subtly undermines Bitcoin's revolutionary potential, replacing self-sovereign money with professionally managed investments.
Everyone knows about Fold. It's the app where you can earn the most Bitcoin rewards for everyday purchases. Fold now lets you double stack rewards with gift cards. Use your credit or debit card to buy gift cards and earn both credit card rewards and sats. Fold gift cards help you grow your stack with every purchase. If you're not shopping with Fold gift cards, you're leaving sats on the table. Get a 20,000 sat welcome bonus. Go sign up now at foldapp.com/Marty.
This mirrors what happened in traditional medicine, where patients were trained to trust institutions rather than take responsibility for their own health. The same playbook is now being used to convince Bitcoiners to surrender their financial sovereignty. Dr. Kruse suggests this isn't coincidental, but represents a deliberate strategy by powerful interests to neutralize Bitcoin's threat to established control systems. By encouraging users to treat Bitcoin as just another investment rather than a revolutionary monetary system, these interests maintain their position as intermediaries and gatekeepers, effectively defanging Bitcoin's most disruptive potential.
I can't stress this enough, that the message that has just started to ooze from Saylor's mouth for the last year is a problem. And maybe now some of you who know Dorsey's a good friend of mine, why he showed that video on Twitter with Michael becoming an XRP coin. Now you understand why. We are warning you, this is the same idea that Big Pharma does with you. When you go to the pediatrician and you're sick, you expect the pediatrician to write you a prescription. We have made that the norm in centralized medicine. And I believe what's happening from the people on the inside of Bitcoin is they are trying to make the norm that you're okay calling up the guys from Unchained Capital, say, fuck it, let me just put my money with Fidelity or Schwab. I don't want you to do that.
The ultimate goal, according to Dr. Kruse, isn't just to control Bitcoin, it's to identify and control the minds of those who understand true financial freedom, using their own trusted leaders as the vehicles for this control. The institutional custody model creates a centralized point of failure that not only undermines Bitcoin's censorship resistance, but also makes it easier to monitor and potentially influence Bitcoin holders. By surrendering private keys to custodians, users potentially expose themselves to both financial and cognitive manipulation, creating a perfect storm of vulnerability that defeats Bitcoin's primary purpose of establishing true financial sovereignty. Bitcoin isn't just money, it's the foundation for a new civilization built by those who refuse to be controlled. As technocratic control systems accelerate, Dr. Kruse sees the Bitcoin community as humanity's best hope for maintaining freedom. However, the community faces increasing threats precisely because of its potential power, requiring new approaches to organization and protection. Traditional Bitcoin conferences and meetups, while valuable for building community, may inadvertently create concentrated targets for surveillance or manipulation. The very technologies that enable global Bitcoin collaboration also expose users to potential monitoring and influence. This creates a paradox where Bitcoiners must simultaneously build strong communities while avoiding the centralization of those communities in ways that make them vulnerable to attack or co-option. Dr. Kruse draws parallels to human evolution, comparing Bitcoiners to the small population, 70,000 to 100,000 people, from which all modern humans descended. This core group, he believes, will preserve sovereignty while others become economic slaves to the system. Much like this ancestral population survived through adaptability and resilience during challenging conditions, Bitcoiners may represent a similar evolutionary bottleneck, a group that preserves essential knowledge and practices during a period of significant disruption. This metaphor suggests that Bitcoin's importance extends far beyond its monetary value, potentially representing the preservation of human autonomy itself in an increasingly controlled world.
I think the number one thing, the way I look at it, and I'm going to take the biologic lens. There was a time in Earth's history after we evolved that the human population got down to 70 to 100,000 for a variety of different reasons. From that 70 to 100,000, we now turned into 8 billion. I look at the Bitcoin community as that 70 to 100,000. It doesn't mean the rest of people are going to die. They're just going to be the economic slaves, okay? They're going to be the people that Klaus Schwab and DARPA are trying to create.
The solution, according to Dr. Kruse, is for Bitcoiners to decentralize not just their money, but their entire lives, from how they communicate to where they meet, forming a resilient network that can withstand technological manipulation while preserving human freedom through Bitcoin. This means adopting health practices that strengthen resistance to electromagnetic influence, maintaining strict self-custody of private keys, and creating decentralized meeting structures that don't create easy targets. Rather than large, centralized conferences, the community might evolve towards smaller, more distributed gatherings, combined with secure digital collaboration. The ultimate goal is to create a resilient, distributed community that can maintain Bitcoin's revolutionary potential even as surveillance and control technologies advance, preserving a path to freedom for future generations. The biggest choice in finance today isn't which asset to buy, it's whether you'll protect your sovereignty or surrender it to those who can steal your wealth directly from your mind. But what happens when DARPA's mind control technologies meet the next financial crisis? The implications are terrifying. Do you think electromagnetic mind manipulation is the biggest threat to Bitcoin hodlers, or is institutional custody the more immediate danger? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If this breakdown changed how you view Bitcoin security, you need to see my analysis on the government's involvement in crypto exchanges and custody solutions. Click the video on your screen now. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into what really matters in the Bitcoin space. Thanks for watching. Stay sovereign, stack sats.